If you take a group of crabs and put them in a barrel or bucket, something very interesting happens. Now, individually on their own, each one of these crabs can claw their way out of this barrel or bucket and go off back into the water. However, if even one of these crabs tries to find its way out of this barrel or bucket, the rest of the crabs will gang up on this one and start tugging it down. Now, if this crab still persists, the other crabs will gang up and break its arms. And at that point, if it still continues to persist and tries to get out of this barrel or bucket, the crabs will kill him. They literally will gang up and murder this other crab, alright? Now, it's called the crab mentality, but unfortunately, us human beings possess a very similar trait.
Yes.
Hi, Tiffany. Abby.
It is often said that African Americans are like crabs in a barrel, pulling one another down to reach to the top. The idea that there's only one spot for one black leader.
But Twitter right now kind of seems to have a backlash about how there have been only white winners tonight and how we still have so far to go, and there were so many wonderful actors and writers in all of the different categories that were nominated. Do you have any thoughts of how we kind of get to that next hurdle?
Girl, no, I'm not, I don't know how to do that. I didn't go to college for that. I didn't even go to college, or nor do I know how to solve problems like that. If you was asking me how to structure a joke, I could help you with that part, but what you talking about right now, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is how to do my job. That's somebody else's job. I don't know that. I don't know. Can't answer that one for you. But I won.
We have a very, I got mine type of mentality, my people do. You know, I got mine. You know, you get yours. A lot of us don't, we put somebody on, but only to a certain extent.
The impact of race relations and centuries of systemic oppression has gravely affected how African American men and women view one another.
I think the problem is that that's not just true about crabs, and I think we have seen it in black communities across this country. I think we've seen it specifically within the demographic of black men, which is really unfortunate because that's not a demographic where we got a chance to pull ourselves up from our own bootstraps. We didn't have straps, let alone boots. And so it should be an enterprise where we are leaning on each other for support, and when one of us makes it, we all make it instead of spending that energy to pull each other down. And I really think the greatest force is not our strength, not even maybe our intellect. It would be our unity.
I love you, Jesus. I worship and adore you.
We hear this thing called the crab in the bucket, crab in the barrel mentality, and so a lot of people talk about that, and then you think about, okay, well, how the crabs in the buckets, that's not their natural habitation, right? So they all you know, in a tough situation, and one of them not even going to a better situation, but he's getting pulled out and everybody trying to pull him down. I think that's normal. Because the black community is one word that I can say to describe the black community, that would be loyal. We are some loyal people in terms of buying power. We have a huge buying power and we're loyal. Let's say, for instance, the Chinese restaurant don't do anything for our community. They don't really care about our community, but we are loyal to spending money there. Brands, Jordans, you know. So our loyalty sometimes turns into something that's very detrimental to our stability.
I'm black before I'm anything first, but I'm tired of my black people dogging me to the ground. When I'm having an altercation with somebody, it's usually a black man or a black woman first, or a black queen.
What I find disgusting about this whole fake mushmouth pro-black movement that I'm seeing online, so you can greenlight the Crips to go after Kanye because he supports Donald Trump. I don't agree with him supporting Donald Trump, but again, it's his right to do that. Me not agreeing with it means nothing. Kanye has a right to support who he wants to support. So you can greenlight other black people, other black Crips, to go and put themselves in potential danger, because if they whoop his ass, they're going to go to jail. They're going to get criminal charges, you know, pressed against them. They're going to end up in the prison industrial complex. So this makes sense to you all because Kanye West is on social media tweeting some bullshit that you don't agree with. But yet and still, I didn't see Snoop Dogg or anybody in his entourage green light for these same Crips to go and whoop George Zimmerman's ass, okay? I didn't see any green lights of the Crips to go do that. But you guys will green light the Crips to go basically beat up another black man. I wish all of these fake woke people would get all of these same people and use all of the same energy that they have against Kanye. I wish they would use all of this same energy to have their people come down and participate in local town hall meetings or clean up the community or have discussions about poverty with lawmakers. I wish they would do that as opposed to, having all of your fans and your Crips and stuff like that beat up Kanye West on site.
So we can have loyalty to ignorance. So if all of us doing breaking and entering, all 3 of us or 10 of us, whatever, whenever I just say, I don't want to do this no more, man, I want to do something better with my life. Everybody not going to agree with that. We've been doing this for so long, but you've been this way. And so that's just something that's kind of a natural reaction. And, that actually stops, just the thought of that stops a lot of people from achieving things in their lives. When you think about you wanting to do something, before you do it, you worry about what your homeboy going to say or this person going to say. And a lot of times that stops you from really doing what you need to do. And sometimes it's more than one of y'all in the group that's thinking like that. So this kind of oppression, we start to contribute to our own oppression.
I had believed that despite whatever differences we might have had, as black folk, we were supposed to help each other. Each one teach one, so that all might prosper. Perhaps I was wrong. Marc Lowrance MacPhail.
I haven't been attacked or mistreated or have seen it done up front or in my face. It could have been done under the table or behind my back. As somebody just hating or saying something. Because that usually happens. People don't come in your face and just start like, hey, you suck. You're not good enough. But you know what? I can do this better than this guy. Let me go ahead and big up myself, which is where the crabs in the barrel mentality come in. Somebody just trying to usurp you, trying to get on top of you, instead of just us helping out each other.
I would even say that not only is it hard for us to get a seat at the table as black men, but we don't always have the resources to create our own table. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be equally empowering if we did have those resources.
Mm-hmm. That actually stops, just the thought of that stops a lot of people from achieving things in their lives. When you think about you wanting to do something, before you do it, you worry about what your homeboy going to say or this person going to say. And a lot of times that stops you from really doing what you need to do. And sometimes it's more than one of y'all in the group that's thinking like that. So this kind of oppression, we start to contribute to our own oppression.
If you don't do like Russell and go and branch into other things that are going to help the community and help your people, then how do you maintain that? And why haven't they done anything? Why haven't they opened any studios and stuff like that? I don't know. Maybe they've tried. Maybe they've been shut down.
So if you could name a black director aside from Tyler Perry, name him.
I'm a big fan of Alan Nettles and Moving Forward Productions. I think of all the talent I know is very localized. Even back in California, I think of Robert Lyons. And then, of course, like mainstream, of course, Jordan Peele and some others.
So, aside from Tyler Perry and Spike Lee, are there any other black directors that you can just think of off the top of your head?
Alan Nettles is one of them. Very up and coming, young talent.
And I say this a lot, that African American people, we finance our oppression, but we silence our liberation. And that's because something that we so used to, certain things are hurting or doing things wrong or, subscribing to that when somebody is courageous enough to change the path, it's kind of like we take that as an insult and so that's one of the things that I want to work on too. Like I want my life to be one of you know, this guy Larry Shaw, he really don't care about, you know, what you think about him. If he's doing something positive, and it's helping people, and it's bigger than him, like he stuck to it or whatever. And so I want people to, you know, see that you could take the average guy, you know, probably made bad choices when I was younger, but you could take the average guy, somebody living a mediocre life, and realizing that I'm not about to be led to the slaughterhouse like everybody else. I want to do something different. I want to restore my people, heal my people. So
the reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. And you hear it all the time when people say, I've always been this way. Okay, well, if that's working for you, keep doing that. I knew it wasn't working for me any longer. I had hit my version of rock bottom. I'm in Inglewood, living off Arborvitae. I'm on government assistance, and I run out of money, and I had to buy Pampers for Jelani. And I had $11.42 in the bank. And I remember wrapping my son in a towel for 2 days. You know, someone said, because when I tell the story, I always get teary-eyed. And someone said, do you fabricate the tears because you've told the story so much? No, I'm a mama. Every time I tell the story, I feel it again. I remember the second day, like you said, I had my hand on Jelani's stomach, and I said, don't worry, baby. Mommy will never be this broke or broken again. And that day, what shifted for me was I was willing, and I don't know if this is gonna sound crazy, I was willing to completely die to any form of me that I had been so that I can birth the woman that I was becoming. I was willing to let go of everything and everybody. See, another reason why people won't get there is because the doorway is for you to fit through. You're trying to carry everybody else through because you're trying to be Rescue 911. And you got to rescue you first. I am much more valuable to my family and to my community because I was willing to let them go through the door myself, teach myself, learn myself, condition myself, and then come back and get them. I'm much more valuable to them now. But I had to go through a window time of 10 years of judgment. You leaving us, hanging out with white people all the time. You going to these crazy countries. We don't know what I had to be willing to allow my conviction to make me inconvenienced. See, we want to grow, but we want to stay liked by everybody. I was willing to be my own rescue at the risk of your approval. But most of us aren't like that. Facebook is an example. We want to be liked. Well, I woke up and I like myself today, so your like is extra. My job is to like me first. I was willing to say every day, Lisa, you like you? Lisa, are you proud of you? Lisa, are you playing full out? Every day before I checked in with anybody else.
If we don't educate and uplift, then who will?